What's up, guys? Ricky Analog here, stocktraders.net. Gonna bust out a quick trade recap for you guys. But first and foremost, the disclaimer. Everything we discuss, guys, is only for informational and educational purposes. It's not a solicitation to trade. I am not a licensed financial advisor, so make sure you do your own homework. Let's get into it, guys. It was Amazon today. Amazon is on the chopping block. So let's take a look at the daily, and you guys can see this thing has come in quite a bit since earnings. And it goes without saying they're a strong company. I always look to be longing this whenever it has these deep pullbacks. And obviously, this pullback I almost feel was way overdone, but the market has been really tough lately. And so I think a lot of these tech names sold off further than people expected. But the intraday trade on it was pretty straightforward. What is with this chart? All right, I did not mean to zoom out that far. Let's look at the intraday trade on it, guys. So the initial trade on it was a short. I shorted 16.16, took off half at 16.02, so locked in like 14 points right off the bat. And we were looking for this thing to go red down here. I was actually looking for about 20 points on it. But you always got it when you trade Amazon or any of these tech names, you need to be following the NASDAQ, the NQ, and make sure that you know what it's doing at all times. Is it strong? Is it weak? Is the name that you're trading relatively strong or relatively weak? Those are things that you must know at all times when you're trading something like this. And when that Trump news came out about him tweeting positive developments between him and China and the trade war thing, it's not for me to judge whether or not that will actually manifest itself into anything positive or of substance. It's just for me to see what the market thinks and whether or not they agree. And that bounce was pretty strong when that news came out. Now, I wasn't going to cover until over this 1621 level because that was the previous little high there, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting faked out on this. And at first it actually looked like it was because it pushed up in there and then faded back down. But you see we got a little bit of a poke down here where it looked like it was going to try, and then it just bounced right back up. And then looking at NQ at the same time, everybody in stocktraders.net, we were talking about the overall market all morning. So we were all kind of in agreement that the NQ looked like it was turning and getting strong. Same with the SPY. And so not only was I going to cover I actually switched my cover to the top of this peak here. I flipped long. So I actually lost 4 points on the last half of that initial short, which was fine. I was still extremely green on that trade, but I was now net long from 1620. I locked 6 points in right up here. I was looking for 1628. I ended up taking 1626 because it just didn't look like it was going to get there. And sure enough, I was pretty happy to lock that in there. And then after that, the plan became to buy dips on this thing as long as the NQ looks strong. So I bought at 1610 down here. This was an ad. I still had half of this 1620 on. So buying at 1610 put me at a 1614 average. And, you know, I thought I was going to stop out when it came under this wick here. But like I said, as long as you were looking at NQ at that time, it was still pretty obvious that the NQ was strong. So I was going to give it a little more room, make sure that I wasn't going to get just ticked out and then be pissed off when it ramped up against me. So what I did was I lightened up at 1618, just took a little off. I lost a little more at 22. Remember, this was with a 1614 average, locking in gains the whole way, guys. Then the next area that looked for was this high up here at 1630. So I took a little off at 1628. And actually, right around here, it was like 9 a.m. my time, which is noon on the East Coast. I had to leave the house. So I had some errands to run and stuff. And I did not want to just cover this trade because I knew what kind of opportunity it was if this thing decided to go. So I put some limit orders in and a stop order in. My stop was under this low. I would have stopped at 1607, and the profit taking targets were 1628, and I wanted the 200 day at 1674, which I think it was a little bit lower than that. I would have to go and check it, but I knew it was up in that area, and I was like, you know, if it goes 1674, that's 60 points. It's a hell of a trade. And so I put my limit order up there at 1674, and I went and I ran my errands. Now, I had a friend that let me know that I had gotten out that piece at 1628. So now I'm just holding a little bit left, and I'm looking for the bigger move. And I ended up, you'll see I took it up here for 40 points. I was out at like 1653. It wasn't quite 40 points. I think it was 39. But if you had to guess where I pulled my phone out of my pocket and looked at the trade to see how it was doing, where would you think it was? Yep, it was right here, guys. And, had I just left my phone in my pocket, maybe I would have been able to just hold through it. But when I looked, I saw the high here, and I was thinking, wow, man, this thing really has pushed up quite a bit today. And then I saw the pullback, and when I saw this push stuff, I said, oh, man, you know what? This might be a lower high, and this thing might be about to roll over. And, I'm on my phone, so I don't have, like, the best ability to I just use TeamViewer to control my desktop from when I'm remote. I don't pay the monthly fee to use DOS on my phone. Maybe I will in the future. I don't know. But this was kind of definitely an emotional cover here because nothing had triggered yet. Honestly, it wouldn't have been a sell until this level broke here at 1642. And as you can see, that never did. And in fact, right after I covered, this thing ended up ripping another 15 points. And damn near came right up to the 200-day. So like I would have almost got my target. But I'm not here to cry and complain. I was really happy with this trade, especially considering the fact I didn't have to sit around babysitting it. I was out handling some things, actually with my wife and my kids too. So it was almost like a threefer. It was like got to handle some errands, got to make some money on my trade, and I also had a little bit of family time during the workday, which is always good. So that was the Amazon trade. The one takeaway I want you guys to know from this is that there's not a single thing I did differently on this trade than any other trade I would have taken, whether it's a micro cap or a blue chip, guys. Like these things, if you know how stocks move, you can make trades on any of these tickers. You don't need to pigeonhole yourself. You guys see the charts I post. I traded AEZS the other day, and here I am trading AMZN. Like there's, stocks move a certain way. If you know how that is, then you can capitalize on it and you can put trades on. It's all about the trend. The trend is your friend. Figure it out and you'll make money to the end. Word to your mother. Peace.